a nation known for post-war pacifism has stunned the world with a groundbreaking development. Japan's forging alliances beyond the United States to create a powerful sixth-generation stealth fighter. The Godzilla FX may change the meaning of warfare on a global scale. The historical context, from pacifism to power. After World War II, under pressure from the United States, Tokyo adopted a pacifist constitution in 1947 that prohibited Japan from waging offensive war and having armed forces. According to Article 9 of the Constitution, Japan has not had an army for 75 years. That's why the Japanese military is now called the Self-Defense Forces and exists in a gray area. The Japanese military are technically civilian employees. However, nowadays the Self-Defense Forces number 250,000 people, and the military budget amounted to a record $53.8 billion last year. In the World Military Power Ranking, Japan is in 5th position. The trauma of the war, alongside the devastation it brought to Japan and its people, left a deep aversion to militarism. The memories of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are a haunting reminder of the cost of war. Japan entered into a security alliance with the United States, involving the presence of US military forces, including air units stationed in Japan. This provided a security umbrella under which Japan could focus on rebuilding its economy and infrastructure, relying on the US for defense. The changing geopolitical landscape. America is now giving the green light for further militarization of Japan because of the rise of China and Russia in the Pacific. Tokyo becomes the leader of the US anti-China coalition in Asia. The growing regional tensions and emerging threats have played a significant role in Japan's new decision to bolster its defense capabilities. China's remarkable economic and military growth has taken on a more confrontational tone toward Japan. Leveraging its economic clout, China has imposed trade restrictions and boycotts on Japan due to Japan's support for Taiwan and its defense cooperation with the United States. China has taken a more covert approach as well, resorting to cyber attacks and espionage, hacking into Japan's government and corporate networks, seeking to pilfer defense and technology secrets. There's a military element to this confrontation too. China has upped the ante by increasing naval and air activities near Japanese territory. Live fire drills are a regular occurrence, and they've even launched ballistic missiles close to Japan's ally Taiwan. Given all these provocations, Japan has to modernize its aircraft to avoid relying only on foreign allies, especially since China and Russia are introducing advanced fighter planes. The birth of Japanese aviation ambition. In 2008, Japan announced the launch of a program to develop a fifth-generation fighter jet. The project arose out of the country's desire to buy F-22 fighters, but the United States passed laws prohibiting the export of F-22s to other countries. Initially, the country considered purchasing the Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptors capable of rivaling Russian and Chinese counterparts. However, the US banned the export of these fighters to protect its technology, leaving Japan with no options. To add a fifth-generation fighter to their arsenal, the Japanese decided to develop their own. As a result, the Japanese military decided to embark on an unprecedented journey by developing its very own sixth-generation warplane. While this ambitious endeavor faces numerous obstacles, its potential success could provide Japan with a cutting-edge warplane and a prominent place in the global arms industry. The Mitsubishi X2 Shinshin, Proving Ground. The first Japanese stealth fighter was named Mitsubishi X2 Shinshin. The X2 is a stealth fighter developed by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries to test new aviation technologies, with more than 220 companies involved in the development and 90% of the components produced domestically. The X2 has been dubbed Shinshin, which translates to the embodiment of Japan. The Ministry of Defense developed a unique demonstrator platform to test and refine technical requirements. The experimental prototype allows engineers to experiment with various technologies, providing valuable insights into the development of their next-generation fighters. This model looks like a 9-ton machine, almost 50 feet long with one pilot. The cost of its development was $400 million, which is a small amount for a fifth-generation fighter, but exorbitant for the first known prototype. These fighters have fly-by-wire control systems using fiber optics, which transmit data faster and are resistant to electromagnetic attacks. The X2 also boasts a self-healing control system that detects damage to the aircraft's control surfaces and automatically adjusts the handling. The entire airframe is embedded with micro-antennas that analyze radar signals, allowing the X2 to effectively counteract and suppress radar detection. Learning from defection, the MiG-25 advantage. Even such an achievement is impossible without the engineering experience that the Japanese gained from the United States and the USSR. In September 1976, former Soviet pilot Viktor Belenko died. He's known for fleeing to Japan in a MiG-25 and being granted asylum in the United States, where he lived the rest of his life. During a training mission over the Sea of Japan, Lieutenant Viktor Belenko hijacked a Soviet MiG-25 aircraft, landed on the Japanese island of Hokkaido, and sought political asylum. In November 1976, after tense negotiations, the aircraft was returned to the Soviet Union in its disassembled form in 30 boxes. Obviously, the aircraft was examined to the last detail, and for good reason. The MiG-25 is still the fastest combat aircraft in the world, capable of flying almost 3 times faster than sound. It's armed with 4 air-to-air missiles, and at speeds above Mach 2.5, stainless steel and titanium alloys became the main construction material. The MiG-25 special variant set 29 world records, including an absolute altitude record of 123,500 feet. Of course, Japan and the United States had already mastered Soviet technologies and used them in future developments. The F-35 partnership. Another technological example for Japan was the F-35. In 2020, the United States and Japan signed an agreement to supply 105 fifth-generation F-35 fighters, engines, electronic warfare systems, communications, and related services. The total value of the deal between Washington and Tokyo is estimated at $23 billion. This agreement brought the Japanese Air Force to second position in the world after the United States in terms of the number of fifth-generation aircraft, amounting to 147 units. The distribution of F-35 types ordered by the Japanese Self-Defense Forces includes 63 aircraft in the F-35A land-based version and 42 F-35B vertical landing fighters. The F-35 is the most versatile fighter jet ever built. In the US Army, it's designed to carry out bombing missions, support ground troops, and air combat with significant weapons carrying and payload capability. F-35 helmets allow pilots to see through the aircraft. A specially equipped helmet costing $400,000 shows real-time images from infrared cameras throughout the aircraft on a seamless augmented reality display, effectively allowing the pilot to see right through their own aircraft. Its versatile weaponry changes depending on the mission, and its stealth systems easily bypass enemy air defenses because of stealth. It's designed to carry weapons internally. The Godzilla FX, 6th generation ambition. Based on all the available experience, Japan decided to take a step forward rather than catch up. The country plans to present a prototype of the 6th generation stealth fighter called Mitsubishi FX. Existing renders of the FX show rounded fuselage configurations similar to the F-22 and twin-engine exhaust designs. Large-scale production of the FX is scheduled for 2031, and the new aircraft will eventually replace the existing Japanese Mitsubishi F2. The fact that Japan intends to develop its own 6th generation fighter jet under the FX program became known at the end of 2020. This twin-engine stealth fighter designed for air superiority is set to be notably larger than the F-22, earning it the nickname Godzilla. This increased size will grant it exceptional range and a substantial ordnance capacity. The focus is also on unparalleled network capabilities and the ability to carry more missiles than the F-35. Powering this fighter will be 2 XF-9 engines providing over 20 tons of thrust. These engines feature 3-dimensional thrust vector nozzles for maneuverability and improved stealth. Advanced weaponry and systems. The most important part of any fighter jet is the engine, and who better than Mitsubishi to know how to make it? Despite the fact that the technology of hypersonic engines is complex and requires solving many technical issues related to cooling components at very high temperatures, the engine of Godzilla copes with all the challenges. It has additional air guides that help more air to enter the combustion chamber, where it's mixed with fuel and then combustion creates jet thrust. This technology accelerates the fighter to 1,990 miles per hour in basic flight mode. The new engine has 2 flight modes and is also equipped with a hydrogen tank for short-term flight. It speeds up to 2,500 miles per hour. Regarding armament, the FX will be equipped with an array of sensors to engage enemy stealth aircraft, including an active electronically scanned array radar, a passive radio frequency sensor, and an infrared camera. Stealth and defensive capabilities. The British Laser-Directed Energy Program has long since begun a series of tests of the accuracy and power of new laser weapons. They managed to create a system capable of performing both offensive and defensive operations, which is ideal for a fighter jet. The power of the laser system reaches 300 kilowatts and works on the basis of infrared radiation directed at the enemy and absorbed by the materials of the hull, thereby causing it to heat up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. A new era for Japanese aviation. Could it be that the US and Japan have only created the appearance of a break in their relations, but in reality, it's the other way around? The fact is that Britain and Italy are unwilling to share their technologies with the United States because world politics is a complicated thing. The US has already tried to acquire some European technologies, but they were refused, so Japan came in handy as it managed to get all the necessary data, which it then passed on to the Pentagon. Most likely, the United States and Japan are now secretly creating another fighter jet or improving their previous joint developments. If Taiwan were to be captured, the islands at the southwestern tip of Japan might become hard to defend. China could then tighten control over Japan's crucial trade routes, escalate tensions around the disputed Senkaku Islands, and exert pressure on its long-standing rival. To prevent this, Japan needs a united effort. Additionally, addressing the threat posed by North Korea is imperative. While it may surprise some, we can all admit that there is no better time for Japan to develop its military strength than now. The Godzilla FX represents not just technological achievement, but strategic necessity in an increasingly unstable region.